Okay, I get it. You're tuning to my video because you want to start your coaching career. You want to level up your services. And this tool that I will recommend to you is really, I mean, super dope in terms of organizing your webinar. And yeah, it works for virtual summit, even though you have like a lot of attendees, even let's say 1,000 attendees, or if it's a big event or a small event, then this tool can help you to automate your process. Like when you are having a live event, there are some like features that you can use on this tool. For example, special offer, or maybe Q&A session, and you can also put like tracking tools. So there's a lot of things, really, there's a lot of things that you can do in this tool. Now, there's two types of jam, of webinar. The first product that they have is WebinarJam. Now, WebinarJam works for live events, and if we go to the home.webinarjam.com, you will see like a brief introduction, like how the product works. And you can also see, like, if you go here in the area, they have like a demo thing. But I'm gonna walk you through how this set up after this like brief explanation on how it works and their pricing details. So you can see all the details here. And if you go to the pricing, there is yearly plan. So you can, here's the difference, like it's up to 500 attendees if you are for basic, and they also have a $1 offer for the WebinarJam services. So again, WebinarJam works for live events, and they also have other tool that's called Everwebinar. So by the way, they have this kind of offer, like get Everwebinar for only $1, and it's 14 days trial. And for sure you will really hook in this sales thing, because once you sign up to their tools, it's really a mind-blowing, like it's really an amazing tools for your business to grow revenue and to save time and workers, because everything can be automated. Okay, so yeah, you can sign up for your free trial. It's $1 for 14 days. And this Everwebinar, now this Everwebinar works for pre-recorded videos. So if you are planning to create like pre-recorded videos, then they do have, you can select Everwebinar, or you can select both WebinarJam and Everwebinar. But the problem is, but the case is, they do have different pricing. You need to buy the individual product. But yeah, so I'm gonna walk you through shortly how the dashboard works and how you can configure it onto your WordPress website if you are running a WordPress website. So yeah, so here you go. Just check all the details here, like the features. You can have live chat stimulator. That's how that works. So basically, you have like something, you can schedule questionnaire to your audience, and then if they respond back, you can, everything is already automated. Like you have some questionnaires to your audience, and then if they respond back, you have an options to talk to them in real time. And they do have a lot of features. It's not just for the automated live chat stimulator, but they have this kind of mind-blowing features. So yeah, just check these all details. And they also have a 30 days money back guarantee. If you felt that this tool doesn't work for you, then they will provide a 100% money back guarantee. But I think if you are really into creating courses, you will never refund your payment to them, because this tool is very amazing. Now, okay, we'll go back to the setup. So we have a website. It's called Marketers Content Playbook. By now, maybe you don't have this event is already over, but you can still sign up to our all access pass. You can still sign up to our all access pass to see all our live streaming and all our pre-recorded blueprint for this big live event. By the way, this event is composed with 100 speakers, and they are really expert into their niche. Like for example, Stacy Jones is a product placement expert and works on her expert is into entertainment industry. So maybe if you are looking from an advice or guide on how to hire a right influencer or celebrity, she is really an expert on how to avoid those pitfalls. So yeah, and the other one is Adam Morgan from Adobe, and there's a lot of speakers that will provide. It still will, because the virtual event is not yet over, but during you watch this video, this summit is already over. But yeah, these speakers will provide blueprint aside from live event, which is you can real-time talk to them for questions. They will provide a blueprint at the same time Q&A, and if you sign up to the all access pass of Marketers Content Playbook, you can access all of those marketing advice. So just letting you know, if you want to learn ideas from the expert on how entertainment and pop culture and influencer and digital marketing works. Okay, so by the way, so we're using WordPress as our front end website, and all the students will sign up here when they want to register on a certain speaker, and each speaker has a live event version and pre-recorded version. Some speakers doesn't have a live event session, but all of them have pre-recorded version or a blueprint version that can be accessed if you purchase to the all access pass. But this event is actually free. This is how the WebinarJam looks like. So if we sign up to the WebinarJam, we have, because we purchase two kind of products. So if you sign up here, and you purchase the two products, this will be like how the dashboard works. So you have an options to use WebinarJam, which is for the live events. You can see here most powerful live webinar solution, and you can also choose a Everwebinar that is for the automated event. So if you want to pre-record some presentation or PowerPoint keynotes, then Everwebinar will be a good tool versus using a WebinarJam. So we have like a page that is called Virtual Room, okay, Virtual Room, and you can see all of the schedules here. It's not, yeah, just because this is a 3 days event, so you can see all the schedules here, like from 9 a.m. to 9:30, James Dayton from Harmon Brothers will have a live event session, and you can also register to their blueprint. But this blueprint will only be accessed if they purchase to the all access pass worth cost $497. So if you go to the Q&A session, this is free. If this is still free, but once the webinar is over, you need to purchase the all access pass to unlock and to get the recorded version. So first, let's say for example, this is for the register on demand, and register on demand is their presentation version. So I created like a registration page for every speakers here, like, because these are the speakers. I'm gonna give you like a short like overview how it works. So these are the speakers so far that we have, and they are over 100 speakers, and each speakers, so I name it into alphabetical in order. So they are over like 100 speakers, if I'm not mistaken, and each speakers have their own blueprint presentation. It's kind of keynote, PowerPoint presentation. It really depends on them, even videos. But these are that is a pre-recorded version and cannot be accessed if they and it cannot be accessed once the webinar is over. They also have some of the speakers as well has a Q&A version. So we have like until 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. we have a Q&A session, and it is live. You can actually ask questions from the speakers and they will answer you in real time. So that's why we need to create two kinds of webinar. The WebinarJam for the Q&A session and the Everwebinar for their blueprint presentation. So I have a, I'm gonna start, we will start for the on-demand, which is the blueprint presentation. This one, registered on demand. So I created a registration form, a registration page here. So if you go to the WebinarJam thing, you can go to the Everwebinar for the automated version, and you can, okay, we will configure all things. So I have duplicate. So for example, James, and I will duplicate this. Yeah, we will change this one, and I will, okay, I'm going to change. This one is the source video. So if they have a pre-recorded video, you need to put the external thing. And since this is a pre-recorded, all of our videos are from Vimeo. Other thing you can also do is use a WebinarJam. So if they already have a live version of the webinar and you want them to pre-recorded, I mean they have a live session, and then by the end of the month you want that to curate and want it to be an automated webinar, then you can use this option like a previous WebinarJam live session, and then you can select what WebinarJam you have. So this is perfect for curation. But if you already have like a presentation thing and you haven't done any live event and you just want to pre-record those video or those presentation, then you can use this external video. Okay, and then you need to provide the URL. So we are using Vimeo for this, and in this section, basic settings, this will pop up for your registration form. So okay, so this will pop up for your registration form. Now I'm going to change some few information here. So I will change I'm gonna get the title of the presentation here and put it here. And okay, no, webinar name is just for internal use, so it will not pop up. Attendees cannot see this. So webinar title, this will pop up on the registration form. So webinar title, this is the title of his presentation. And then, by the way, you only have 70 characters for every webinar title. So instead of just adding this one, I'll just put this stuffed here. And for the description has more characters to put. So that one. And then, the other question here is, do you want to list on-demand section? And then, yeah, this is kind of mailing list option. So, yeah. And then the directory, like what is the category for this? And then you need to click this confirm button to proceed to the next step. Now for the webinar presentation, you need to put like the name of the moderator and for the webinar. And by the way, the maximum for every presenter and for the moderator will depends on the plan that you've chosen. So you need to click this confirm to proceed to enable this next button. Okay, now we actually need to complete all of the process here, and we want to make sure that we take it's better if you take advantage all of the features on on Everwebinar, so you can have full blast of marketing. So webinar schedule. So the schedule for James, let me check here. So James is 9 a.m. Okay, 9 a.m. Yeah, so it's Tuesday, August 4th, 9 a.m. But by the way, this is a pre-recorded, so I mean, it's okay to be earlier than 9 a.m. because it's pre-recorded. Okay, so confirm. There are some few options here as well, like if you want to allow late attendees, so you need to enable that one, and some sort of you need to put enable the information here. So go back to the registration form. So they do have options for you to use their preset. So for example, you want to use this one, they have preset, and this will be your landing page, your registration page will be stored on WebinarJam or on your Everwebinar But only the disadvantage in this, if let's say for example, I'm going to select this one, this preset tool from WebinarJam, is there's really there's no options for you to like, let's say for example, if you want to add an image here, then you cannot do that. It's really preset. You just need, the only options you can do is change the text of change the text, and you cannot, like, if you want to add a picture, if you want to add like a picture here, you cannot do that. However, you can change the background to match on your branding. So let's say for example, if you want this to make it red, then you have options to change the colors, or you can insert your own image. So that will work as well. And yeah, but as much as possible, since our website is still fresh, this is not really our main website, because her website is HollywoodBranded.com. So this is just for occasion events. And yeah, and we, as much as possible, we want to drive traffic on our WordPress website. So Google will get a signal that, getting a lot of traffic, getting a organic traffic into your website will help your page rank improve, because Google will receive a signals that, they are getting a organic traffic, they are getting a natural traffic, then this site might be a good site and something that we need to prioritize in the search engine result. So that's a good thing if you use your own WordPress website, or you use your really own domain in hosting a webinar versus using for example, this one. So yeah, however, you can use the preset template for that, but for our end, we will use our own link, which is tie up to the marketer's content playbook, because we don't know, we will remove this Everwebinar area, and we don't want to have we have full flexibility in terms of changing all of the content from this page over just using the preset from Everwebinar. So I'm gonna put this, if you use a custom design, then you need to put your the URL. So this is the registration page for James, and we will put that here and then save. Now in this area, you will be asked like the registration design. Okay, it's okay. So the registration design. So this one, if they click, because this is already a registration page, and there is called button here, and I need to replace this one with a WebinarJam button. And if every webinar button is clicked, then this pop-up will change. You will see this pop-up. I'm gonna give you an example for that. Okay, let's see. I think I have EJ. I have AJ. I think I have, okay, Chris. So if you check Chris, and I've clicked this register now thing, this one will pop up. And you need to choose, this is the registration form. Yeah, so that the registration form serve for. So if they click the registration, register now, then they will receive, I mean, they will get this one. And this one cannot be customized. You really need to choose what design you prefer. So we don't want to use any image on the webinar, on this webinar, on this virtual summit. Okay, so we've chosen this one, and actually we don't have the right branding color, but the closer branding color is this one. So you can actually select like what kind of branding color you have. But if I mean, the limitation is if any of these colors is not your branding, then that might be very unfortunate. However, you can just use a neutral color for your form. Okay, so we will select this one because this is closer to our branding, so which is burgundy. And yeah, we're already good in that. And then for the registration form, what will be the fields you want to grab from your audience? So for example, for Chris, we have a first name, last name, and email address. So same with James, we want to get the first name, the last name, the email address, and the phone number, and we want it to be mandatory. Okay, now for the free registration versus paid registration. So as I said, this webinar or this virtual summit is free version, but you can only access this summit until August 4th, 5th, and 6th. And all of the giveaways like free on-demand blueprints and free recorded Q&A live session will be no longer available after August 6th. Okay, so if you want this to be, let's say for example you have a webinar and you want it to be a paid version, then you can just select this register thing, and they will already have the integration for you. So you can choose like how much would be your price, and then enter the URL of your checkout page. So let's see how this works. Okay, I'm gonna see how this works before using a business account. So they have this tutorial for you. Okay, you need to create. So let's walk through on that. So you have a sample. I'm gonna log into my PayPal account and follow the steps. So log in, and by the way, this is I'm going to change that into free version after we configure the paid version. I just want you to see how it should be integrated. So we need to select the registration fee, and then we need to sign into our PayPal. And in this one, you need to go to the account settings. So let's go to the account, and under payments, website payments. Okay, so let's go to the, I think it's under the seller's tools. I've already done this before. So this one, website. Okay, the new one is PayPal button. It's not website. Control how you sell, express checkout. So okay, website preferences. PayPal is always changing from time to time, so the tutorials might be not really accurate. So need to select that, and then there is an option here. Okay, this one is not a website payments, but it is a button. So let's go back and let's select these PayPal buttons, and then what kind of like PayPal, just for example, buy now. Okay, let's select that one, and we will, let's say this is buy now, and then I'm gonna put this like all access webinar. By the way, this is just a sample. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's optional, but if you want to track all of your orders, then you can create a unique number. But let's just make that like a sample. And then for example 130, and if you have a lot of options, like this is a 3-month access, 1 year access, 22 years access, 200, 300, 600, something like that, done. And then if you want, if it has a shipping, it's not a physical product, it is a service, so let's just skip that one. And if you want to have like a tax rate, then you need to put if you want to, but most of the digital products doesn't have add-ons, so you can just select this, use my primary email address. And then if you want to track your orders, like if you want to see the inventories in all access pass, but I think this is a digital product, so it's not physical, so just select the unselect the track inventory. Now for the customized buttons, there is some options here. Do you want to let your customer change orders of quantities? I don't think so. This is a monthly and yearly subscription, so no. And then name of the message box, you can put that, and then take the URL. So this can be a cancellation page. You can create a cancellation page for your marketer's content for your WordPress website, or just skip this one. And this one will be for the thank you page. Maybe in the future, this is perfect. By the way, this is really good for upsell services. So I really recommend you to create a thank you page for every checkout, so you can upsell your customer. Now add variables. Okay, I would not add variables, but adding a variables would be helpful for you to track your orders. Now I'm gonna click this create button to generate a link for us, and we can use that on our live webinar, on our Everwebinar. What's the error? Prices of the menu. Okay, this one is, let's say for example, all access pass, and let's generate a button, and then we will see this kind of code, and this will be the one that pop up on the Everwebinar thing here. Okay, by the way, we have changed the price. It should be, okay, I will change this to let's edit this one, and let's just use the same price, which is $495. So let's say I'm gonna go back here, no, here, and it should be, let's remove that add thing. It's not a drop, they don't have options, so it's just $495, and then save. And then this one will be generated, so you can go to the email instead of website to get the checkout link. So you need to put that and put it here. And then what will be the post redirection? So this will be a thank you page similar to the PayPal thing. So you can also put your thank you page here for the upsell purposes. So that once you're done with that, you can select confirm. But this is a free webinar, so I will remove this one and change it to free, and then confirm. And then, is it password protected? Like after they receive an email that to access the live room, do they need a password? If they need a password, then you can put your password here, or you can have like master password of all the attendees, or you can use a unique you can set a unique password for every attendees. But we don't want to complicate things. Let's just use no password needed. This is perfect for those you have a lot of categories for your webinars. Then I would recommend to have a password protection. So confirm, and then next. Now we have this kind of notification thing. So we have very robust built-in mailing system to send all your webinar reminders. So this will be for webinar reminders. Like, let's say for example, we want to remind all of our students to go to the live room or sign up to our webinar before a day before the event. You can also send a reminder before the event, maybe 15 hours prior. So right now we will use Everwebinar because they have a really great system for reminding. So let's stick for Everwebinar as our notification tool, and then reminder. This is the settings you can set up. So if you choose, like, let's say for example your autoresponder, this one is no longer needed. But if you choose Everwebinar mail, you need to configure this one because you need to select like this one. They will receive a welcome email after they register to our registration page, and they will receive a reminder before the event happens. So that one. So confirm, and then next. Now in this integration thing, this will work. So we connect our Mailchimp account on this because we want to forward all the data for all our attendees from Mailchimp. So I set a rules here. By the way, if you haven't configured your autoresponder yet, you need, let's say for example, you select your Mailchimp and you haven't connect your Mailchimp yet in your Everwebinar, you need to get your API. So how you can get your API? So log into your Mailchimp. Okay, log into your Mailchimp and go to in this area, go to the accounts and go to the accounts, and under you can see extras and then API key. And then you need to generate your API. I would recommend to generate your API because this is unlimited. So just generate an API so you have reference. Like this one, I think that is for the Everwebinar. By the way, when you are generating or you are connecting your Mailchimp, it's better to really have a label. I'm not sure where did I put this one. I think in Teachable, I believe. So you need to get this API thing, and then there is an option here that pop up. If you're not yet connected, you will be asked to put your API. So you need to put your API, and after that, this will be unlocked. And in these options, we have configured a rule. Like if they register to the event, I want them to add a lease. And this is for James, so I want to add it on James' account. Do I have James here? Okay, interested in James' date and topic. So I want all of the students to be added on our Mailchimp account and our Mailchimp list under interested in James' topic, and then create integration, and then okay. Okay, if you notice, I've done a lot of webinars here and it looks complicated because this is actually a virtual summit and a lot of speakers are speaking in this event. We have over 100 speakers. But if it's just a normal webinar, I think the work will not be so long. So right now I need to create like 100 Everwebinar because they do have individual blueprint presentation every speakers. Okay, so just letting you know, if you are curious why I created a lot of Everwebinar series, because all the speakers have their own pre-recorded version. We separate them, and we also want to track the attendees, like to whom speakers they are interested in. So by the way, let's say you want to, because they have a integration for the, like if I go here, okay, and go to the integration. So if you have an autoresponder, you can actually forward a data on that autoresponder, and that can be used probably in some maybe if you will have a promotion campaign in the future, or if you have a school like Kartra, then you can transfer those attendees, and they can be converted as students. So right now we are using Teachable, and our plan is to switch on Kartra. So but for now, since we haven't like fully configured Kartra yet, Kartra is one of our top choice to use as our online platform. It's not yet final, that's why I did not integrate the Kartra yet. Instead, I use the Mailchimp. So once you already put the API, because all of this, like even get response, ConvertKit, you need to put your API to connect on your webinar. So as an example, I already give you an instruction right earlier on how to connect your Mailchimp. You need to get the API under the extras settings. So let's say you already connect your API to your Everwebinar. You just need to go here and you can select a logic. Like in my area, I put like, okay, let me remove that one. So I put if they register to our webinar. However, you can also choose different logic here, like if they miss the live webinar, then blah blah blah. So it's super, I mean, the instruction is super easy. I mean, the logic is easy to follow, but what we want to grab is if they register to this Everwebinar, they will be I forgot what's the name of this. Okay, I need to check the name of the person. So Samuel. So let's go back with the integration again. So on the Mailchimp, I want that if someone registered to Samuel event or Samuel blueprint guide, it's a pre-recorded, again, it's a pre-recorded event. So if someone registered on his pre-recorded event, then I want that attendees to be released on, okay, it's still not working. So I want that attendance to be released on Samuel. So there should be an option here that is called topic interested. I hope I can search this one, but anyway, this is interested in Samuel topic, because we have a lot of speakers, so we want to categorize them by speaker's name. The only disadvantage with this, which I don't like, is their limitation. Like in this then logic is very, I mean, it's their logical thing is very limited, because as much as possible, I mean, the good approach here is I want just to create a one list if applicable. Like if someone registered to this one, they will be fall into, let's say for example, our master template, and then I want to have like another logic, like they will be fall into tags. So instead of just creating a lot of lists, then it's better if we have some options here to create a tags. But in this case, unfortunately, it's not available in WebinarJam. So this is the only options we can do for now. So if someone registered, we want them to add on the list under interested in Samuel topic. Now how you can create a list, okay, go back to the go to your Mailchimp account, and you can directly go here, or sometimes it is located under audience dashboard. If I'm not mistaken, it's audience dashboard, and click this manage audience and click this view audiences, and this one you can create a list, or you can directly go to the admin.mailchimp.com/lease. Okay, now you need to create a lease. You need to create a lease here. So create an audience, but we already have Samuel's lease, so I will use other speakers that we haven't that there's no lease yet. So I think this one. So interested in as real rats topic. I'm gonna put my email address, and maybe the description is just for internal use, because we won't really do any pitching on Mailchimp, but we just want to forward this data from the speakers, and we might use it in the future, but for now we just want to gather data as much as possible and save that list. And that list that you just created should be reflected on the Mailchimp. So that's how it works. And yeah, so basically this is the process of, like, if you want to connect your WebinarJam or Everwebinar to your WordPress. Let's say if you don't have platform yet for your online courses, like you don't have Kartra yet, or you don't have Teachable yet, or Think Studio yet, then it's actually a good one to use WordPress. And WordPress has an also online platform plugin. It's called LearnDash, but that is one of the options that we might consider. It's maybe Kartra or LearnDash, but since most of the team is not really tech savvy, and yeah, so we are also thinking the advantage of using Kartra over LearnDash. And then always make sure that you hit the confirm to save all your changes. And then in this part called third-party tracking tools, this is so important for retargeting, especially if you want to run ads in the future. If you want to add Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads, AdWords, and Google Analytics, you want to track like how this is so good for ads, because you can retarget those people who attended in this event, and retargeting is cheaper than other normal ads. So you need to make sure that all the tracking tools are set on the on this area. I mean, the third-party tracking tools should be set here. So you just need to get the embed. For Facebook pixel, you need to get the Facebook pixel. For the LinkedIn, you need to get your LinkedIn pixel. Okay, so confirm and next. Now in this area thank you page, you can put a survey here, like question, like if they are, like they have they learned a lot from the events or something like that. So you can set a survey here. And in this section, thank you page design, you will be, after the webinar ended, after they registered to the webinar, they will be landed to this thank you page design. And we don't have options to customize this. However, you can select a preset. In this area, we've chosen this design because it's simple, and we just change the information here, and we added our upsell product, which is all access pass event, all access pass plan. So yeah, this one we don't have options to use custom link for that. So confirm and next. Now in this area, this is super great for marketing. So there's options here for scarcity rule, like you need to urge your customer. Okay, this is a countdown, by the way. This is a countdown design, like to notify them that there's only 2 minutes left and the webinar or the live the virtual summit or webinar will start. So that one. And then webinar room, you can select how the webinar room looks like. Okay, and then the polls and quizzes, you can actually add like a polls questionnaire during the webinar, and we don't want to put that for now. live chat, you can select, like, you can configure some questionnaire in the live chat, like someone like, hey, I'm from, like, you can, since the webinar is starting, as much, this is a good marketing thing, like you can actually fake it, like, hi, I'm from Los Angeles, and then that is already set up, and then you can answer that as well on your live chat. So I think this is the one that I'm trying to say here. Like, they do have this live chat simulator, like you can configure a series of questions and answers on your webinar during the webinar, so it looks like your webinar has really a lot of interaction. And then once someone, I mean a real person, really interact to your webinar, you can also respond on them on real time. So that that can really, this kind of tool is, I think, super helpful for engagement, so your webinar doesn't look dry. So I really love this live chat stimulator thing. So yeah, you can I'll put some information in your live chat here, and then highlighted announcement. Okay, we don't want to bombard a lot of announcement because we already set a thank you upsell for the thank you page and all of the stuff. However, we have a I think we have a product offers. Okay, we don't have products offer, but actually you can have, like, someone, a product offer will pop up, like, sign up for our all access pass and limited access for this time only, but we don't want to be really salesy as much as possible, so we disable this one. And this portion as well, like in this file handouts, is super important. So it will be easy for you, like when you are presenting, there is like a handout that they can, I mean, a handout that pop up. Okay, so these are the features that is super good for marketing. So as much as possible, if you can configure this one, it's super great. They also have a redirect external thing. So our plan is we want to create a website like this, a landing page like this, but it's not yet done. So I'm going to set this up here. So yeah, redirect. You can all your attendees. Okay, no, not that one. It should be after the webinar. So you can redirect your attendees. We will disable this one. However, we want that once the webinar is over, they will be redirect to our upsell landing page. I think there is an option here. So yeah, next. So webinar replay, do you accept webinar replay? If no, then just select no, or if yes, select yes. And expiration date, so if you want them to receive a replay, if you want them to be if you want this webinar to be recorded, when will be the expiration date? And then allow users to ask questions, then this one, and you need to put your email address. Okay, confirm. Next. And yeah, we're done. So now once we already finish all the configuration, I need to grab the button. So if I click this your links and go to the embed in your embed in your website, let's select the registration button, and then we can customize this color because our branding for the color is yellow. So I will get this yellow color here, and then we will change the font into block, and as much as possible I want it to be smaller to make it look good in mobile version. So let's just keep it small, and then this one color, and then the border I want it to be yellow as well, and I want to have shadow to pop up, and then apply. And then once you make sure you hit the apply, otherwise it would not change if you get the code. So after that you hit the apply, grab that code and go to the, where is, by the way, it's not Chris, we are on James. we need to look for James. I think I removed James. Okay, because this is for James Everwebinar. So go to on demand, because this is Everwebinar. So James, and I will click this one and click the enable visual builder. By the way, I'm using DV for this, and this one and this one. Okay, save. And by the way, you can change the text here. For example, you want to call it like pre-register now, then that's possible as well. But make sure you can also change like the styling here, but make sure this one, make sure this one will not change, because this is the source file of Everwebinar. So as much as possible, just don't do a lot of changes in the script area. However, you can change the HTML file, HTML code here, but do not change anything from the script. So I just want to keep this register now. I want it to be simple as much as possible. So save, and then save, and then okay, let's just say this one, and then visual builder, and let's click this register now. Okay, so as you can see how Google use, is it how Google use? Okay, I need to see if okay, it's my mistake. What link did I use for James? I think this one. I forgot what's the name that I use for the presentation. It's for basic information. This is for AJ. Let's go to Everwebinar again, and this is for Chris. I think the top one. I've changed the name to AJ. Okay, haven't really changed. I haven't configured. Wait, AJ. This is AJ. Let me go back, because I need to see where did which part did I change earlier. Go to the registration design. Is this for James? Yeah, this one is for James. Okay, I need to go to the configuration and basic settings, and then change this to James. Okay, James. Move that clone thing there, and yeah, this is already. Okay, so we're good on that. Okay, I grabbed the wrong button, so finished. Congratulations. And we're already in James thing, so we need to grab the right link. You need to be really careful in this, like, okay, your settings, and then embed your address, and then registration. And again, I want it to be block. I want it to be our color, yellow, and I want it to be smaller as possible. By the way, size. And then I want it to pop up and make sure it is applied, and copy the embed code, the right embed code, go back, and let's change this one. Okay, register now and save, and then exit visual builder, and let's test. So how A/B testing your creative to perform for the long haul. And yeah, we're already good. We already configure the full Everwebinar thing. And we also have like the WebinarJam, which is the live event for a Q&A session. it hasn't set up yet, but yeah, that's really how it works. Everwebinar configuration and the WebinarJam configuration are the same. The only difference is Everwebinar is a live event, while I know the only difference is WebinarJam is a live event, while Everwebinar is a pre-recorded event. I hope this helped, and let me know if you have questions about this. And oh, by the way, don't forget to check the description link below, because there are some series or there are some information that I missed in this video, and I'll make sure that I'll add that on my blog version. And if you have questions, by the way, if you have questions, you can leave a comment on YouTube or on my website, but it's better if you leave comment on YouTube so I can easily see it. So leave a comment on YouTube, and then I'll read it and answer your question on my blog. I mean, I will add a section of your question, or I will add the solution for the section. So as much as possible, I want to compile a WebinarJam 101 tutorials for beginners on my blog. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, if you don't want to use WordPress, then that's totally fine. You can just select if you go to the, okay, let's go back to the Everwebinar thing, and then you go to the registration. If you don't want to use WordPress, you mean that it's too, it looks, it looks time consuming for you, then you can go to the registration page, design, and then select the layout that you want. And by the way, you can also do split testing here, so you just need to enable this one, so you have an options if you want to use a WordPress version at the same time you also want a default template from Everwebinar. And yeah, I hope this has been helpful. If you're excited to use Everwebinar or WebinarJam for your coaching venture or your online course school, then feel free to use the link description below to receive a discount. Have a great day, and I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification, and thumbs up if you like my video.